Hey guys, this is Weihong here. I'm doing this week's weekly drip. Before I get this video, I hope everyone is staying safe and comfortable at home. This week we are still having the 20% off on our Bukisa coffee. Just enter stay home in the coupon code on our website. You're able to get 20% off on the Bukisa coffee. And with any coffee orders, we are giving out a free drip kit for you to test it out. And please let us know your feedback. Let us know how we can improve the product before we actually release the final product. This week, I'm going to share with you guys my recipe for origami. I actually used origami as my brewing method in the US Brewers Cup Championship. As you guys may notice that we already switched all the brewing method to origami on the pour steady. There are a couple of reasons I really like this dripper. First, this dripper offers a high versatility on the type of filter that we're using. You can use either the flat bottom filter, which is a Kalita 185, and my recipe is actually using the flat bottom paper filter. And also you can use the V60 cone-shaped filter. How you choose different type of filters on origami basically depends on how you want your coffee taste like. If you want your coffee to have more complex flavors, have different kinds of flavors, use the cone-shaped filter. And if you want the coffee to show a more focused flavor notes and a more even extraction, then you should use a flat bottom paper filter. The second reason that I like this dripper is that this dripper has a bigger hole at the bottom and deeper grooves on this dripper, which offers a faster water flow rate. The faster water flow rate will help us achieve overall a higher extraction on the coffee because we always have fresher water in the dripper, and it also offers a cleaner cup of coffee. The coffee I'm using is a Kotowa Dunkin'. We have probably only the last batch of it. This coffee is a very nice coffee with a very focused orange flavor notes and some white flower. In the brewing, I want to focus on the more even extraction to showcase that orange inside the cup. So that's why I'm using flat bottom paper filter. And my recipe, the coffee to water ratio is 1 to 15 with 15 grams of coffee and 225 grams of water. Okay. Come to the filter. I'm using Kalita 185 flat bottom paper filter. So generally speaking, I like to use between 100 grams to 150 grams water to rinse the filter. Some of you may notice that if you use too much water to rinse the filter, your coffee might taste a little bit astringent. The reason being that the paper has fibers in it, and if you use too much of hot water, the fibers has been washed out into your cup, and it's causing the astringency in the coffee. Let me just dump out the water. Again, my recipe is 15 grams of coffee with 225 grams of water. After putting the coffee in the dripper, I'm going to use this needle to flatten the coffee bed. This serves a couple of things. First, it flattens your coffee bed, make the water to evenly contact all the coffee bed. And second is make the coffee bed fluffy, so your water will penetrate your coffee bed faster. Come to the brewing part. The recipe is really easy. We start with 60 grams of water to fully saturate the coffee. You want to pour the 60 grams of water, try to pour 60 grams of water in 10 seconds. And then we will wait. We'll wait until 45 seconds to pour our next pour. Our next pour is still 60 grams. So we'll pour to 120 grams. And for the first pour and second pour, we are all using the big circles to wet all the grounds. Okay, the second pour, I'm pouring to 120 grams. And next, I'm waiting for another 45 seconds. I will wait until 1 minute 30 seconds to pour my third pour. On my third pour, I'm no longer doing the big circles, but I'm doing the smaller circles, tiny circles in the middle. The philosophy is that after the first 2 pours or after 1 minute, you don't want to introduce too much agitation to the coffee, because at this stage, coffee starts to extract the bitterness. And if you introduce too much agitation, it helps to extract more bitterness. The third pour. And I'm pouring to 180. And then I will wait another 45 seconds to pour to 225, which is 45 grams the last pour. On the last pour, I'm only doing center pour. At this time, basically you just wait for the water to drip out. You have a good cup of coffee. The time for the water to completely drip out should be less than 3 minutes, should be between 2 minutes 45 seconds to 3 minutes. You can adjust the grind setting to achieve that time, brewing time. I want to talk a little more about the idea behind this recipe. This recipe works very well on very light roasted coffee. The challenge we are facing on light roasted coffee is that it's very difficult to extract enough sweetness to achieve a balanced cup of coffee. In this recipe, we're using a coarse grind size. The coarse grind size, remember that the coffee is a porous structure. In that big particle, and you actually have a lot of holes inside. After each pour, we actually have water penetrate into the inside of the coffee grounds and stay there to extract from the inside. And we wait long enough between each pour is for the water inside the big coffee grounds to achieve a high enough extraction. And every time we introduce a fresh pour of water into the dripper, and we will use diffusion to extract out what's inside of the coffee. Using this recipe, we actually be able to extract more sweetness out of the coffee because the longer water and coffee contacting time, but without extracting too much of the bitterness. I hope you guys are enjoying this recipe, and let me know if this recipe works very well on any of your coffee. And I hope you guys are comfortably brewing at home. Thank you guys for watching this video.